I'll first quickly talk about how we can create online quizzes using Google Classroom, particularly using Google Forms, right? So this is inbuilt in your Google Classroom. Um, Things to note while creating a Google quiz is that you go to create. Now, there is literally no difference between assignment and a quiz assignment, except the fact that when you click on quiz assignment, it will by default create a Google form for you. The only difference is if it was if it was just an assignment, then you can insert a separate form here and still make it into a quiz assignment, right? So there's no difference other than this. Here again, what you could do is you write the name of the quiz, and when you open, now right now, because this was by default already there, a part of so this is already a quiz in the form of a quiz. So you notice that this is already, it already has a answer key and points assigned. But in general, if you were going to simply forms, and if you started creating a blank form, right, or we can create something from here as well, what you would need to do is you go to settings, you go to quiz under settings, and you turn this toggle on, make this a quiz, because if this was a general Google form, then this would have been off. If this is off, then this is not a quiz. There will be no auto grading. You cannot import this data onto your Google Classroom. So it's important that this is turned on. This will be by default turned on if you were coming directly from Google Classroom. But if you are not coming from Google Classroom, if you opened a form separately on Google Forms, then this is something that you need to do. Another setting here to be done is that, for example, I do not want the grades to be released immediately to the students. Right? I want later, after a manual review, then we will release the grades. So I'm selecting this option. Then these three options are selected. That means after the grades are released, students would be able to see which questions they missed, what are the correct answers, and what is the point of each question. Here we can select the option of shuffle questions. So questions will be shuffled. I do not want them to see a link to submit another response, but showing a progress bar is fine. You can customize a confirmation message that they should see after the submission. Coming to general, you should always collect email address. Only if you do this, you will be able to release the grades to those students. It is always a good idea to select response receipt and select always. So what this will allow is that students later cannot keep troubling you by saying that no, I selected this option, no, I had filled this option, but you didn't give me marks. That won't happen. By default, please select always. So the moment a student submits a quiz, they will get a copy of it. Right? We are restricting it to IIT Jodhpur users and also limiting it to one response. That means students will have to log in through their IITJ email ID. We are not allowing them to edit after submit, and they do not get to see the summary of charts. So these are some settings that need to be taken care of before creating a quiz, and we save it. Right? If you had not selected make this a quiz, then you notice that the answer key has disappeared from here. Right? So making it a quiz is important if you want to import these scores over there. Now, what are the various options? You have the option of making multiple choice questions. You have multiple select questions where multiple answers may be correct, so using check boxes. Multiple choice is a radio button, so only one can be selected. You can have a drop down, like for making, say, match the following kind of questions. You can have drop down and make subsequent questions like that. You also have the option of a linear scale where like you will provide a scale, say 1 to 5, which with labels, and student needs to select one of these. You can also use this kind of a multiple choice grid where you have, say, A and B along the rows and 1 and 2 and 3 along the columns, and some sort of matching or this kind of a question. This option is also there. You can also have the option of uploading a file, right? And in general, short answer and paragraph type questions. Now, when we go back to Google Classroom, what will happen is, so what you could have done is directly you edit this form, right? And nothing else, no action is required from your end here after that. And here you directly select the students to whom you want to assign. So now, because we're talking from the point of view of continuous evaluation, right? And in order to avoid students copy from each other, one idea which I have experienced is that when we make multiple sets of question papers, but the question papers are very similar to each other, but not really identical, students very easily get thrown off the track. If you give same options for a solution for a bunch of sets, students will be thrown off the track and they will think that they are writing the correct answer, but they will end up losing marks. I'll quickly show you an example. What I mean here is that once you've created a quiz, say I have only 4 students, so I'm going to create 2 sets of question papers and I'll assign this particular quiz to just these 2 students. And I can schedule it. If I want all quizzes to come out at the same time, I'll schedule it instead of assigning. Also, then I create another quiz, but I don't want the other 2 students to know that this is a different quiz. So I may rename it as, say, something like quiz-1. Just a different name, which means the same thing, but character-wise it is different. Here we go ahead and create a copy, make a copy, right? And rename this to something else. It will have a different URL. Take that URL, remove it from here, add link. You could have directly copied this link here. It would do the same thing, right? So adding it as a link would do the same thing as it would do if it was by default here already. But one thing to note is that in the edit form, so it's not this link, it is not the view form link that you are inserting, it is in the edit form that you are inserting here. Right? So I assigned this quiz to 2 students, and then the other quiz that I just created, I'll remove all, and then I'll assign to maybe these 2. Now what happens after the quiz is complete? I go to responses. Right? You will have kind of a summary of what is the total distribution, who scored how many marks, frequently missed questions, like many students have made a mistake here because they were probably cheating because I had given 1.4 volt somewhere else, so the answer completely changes. If 1.4, the state of the circuit changes and the answer is completely different. Now here what you can do is after the quiz is over and you have closed receiving responses, like here this was on originally during the quiz, you have manually closed it. I wanted a quiz of 30 minutes. After 30 minutes I've closed this quiz, and then we will go here and release scores. The moment you click on release scores, it will show you a list of all the email IDs which were collected along with this quiz, and then you send email and release the scores. You can also write a feedback, which is optional, and all the students will get an email with their scores. This is just a feature of Google Form. When it comes to importing the quiz scores, what you would do is you would go back. This is the particular quiz we are talking about. You go to student work. Now a quiz assignment, like I said, is also an assignment. So because there was a form which was in quiz mode activated, you will go to student work. You click on import grades here on the top right corner. And the moment you click here, all the grades from the form will be imported here automatically. And they appear here by default. Suppose you re-evaluated something or you gave somebody another chance, then you also have the option of manually changing the score over here. After you have done this, what you can do is you can individually select them and return the scores to the students. So it is like grading a quiz and returning it back. Or you could also select all students together and then click on return. So all students get the notification that on Google Classroom, they will get that they have got this many marks in this quiz. Right? So the releasing scores separately was a different thing. That was just for the reference of the student, because later what will happen, they will not be able to open this form again, right? So it's good to have a record of, it's like having a record of their answer copy. Sorry, is there a question somewhere?
Yeah, there is a question. Can we create multiple groups of students in a Google Classroom? It's a Google Classroom question.
Yes, so we can't create groups as such, but when you are assigning assignments, right, that time you can select people, but you would have to do that manually. Like what I do usually is, like, I have 150 students. So what I'll do is I'll make 5 groups. In an Excel sheet, I have their names already. I will assign A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, say A, B, C, D, E, 5 sets. Then I will sort that Excel sheet. So I have all the A's together, all the B's together, all the C's together, D's together. And then quiz subset A, set A, I will assign to all the A's in the list. Then set B, I will assign to all the B's. What happens is, since this is an assignment, again in classroom, it is in assignment mode. So it's important that after that quiz is over, right, then student needs to click on turn in or hand in, some option like that, that should appear on their screen. If they do not do that, then when you import, there is nothing to import to, because that assignment appears as not submitted. So it's important that as soon as students complete the quiz, it's okay if they do it a little late also, that there is no time bound there. But when they complete a quiz and they've clicked submit on the Google form, after that, they also need to turn in this assignment on Google Classroom. If they do that, then you will be able to see their scores, and you will be able to import the scores also. If they don't do that, then you cannot release the score to them. You can release it from the form, but you cannot see it on Google Classroom. So turning it is important.
It is similar to like returning. If we don't return, we don't get a grade. Similar to that, if we don't turn it, we don't get their grades.
Yes.
Similar to that, yeah.
And a lot of time what happens is, when students don't understand this, so we may have to tell them, when we return a grade, right? Like after we have, so one thing is that this has to be told to all the students, that remember to turn in after you have submitted the quiz. It is okay if they do it late, okay? It has got nothing to do with their timing, because the timing was what you were managing on the form directly, right? So as soon as the time got over, you have manually stopped receiving responses. Now, if they submit it late on Google assignment, the assignment may appear that it has been submitted late, but it does not affect their score in any way. So sometimes students actually get confused and worried ki, I had submitted it late. Does that mean that my quiz is not submitted? No. The moment you click submit on the form, Google form, it's done. But if you want to see it on Google Classroom, you need to turn it in there. And the second thing which students often get confused about is that when we return the grades to them, right? So it appears as a return submission, and they see this option of resubmit though. So it becomes very annoying sometimes, because students keep on resubmitting it. They keep on resubmitting the assignment even after getting the grades. So this is another thing that you can announce to your class, that once you have got the grades and you have released the grades, they need not resubmit that assignment.